Let's see, Jenna. Here. Harmony. Here. Mariah. Here. Megan. Here. Sienna. Here.
When I was younger, I used to get suspended a lot, actually. And it was really tough for the teachers to help me because I was so far behind. So I guess I was a real jerk to my teachers.
I mean, it all started with not going to class. Not just truancy, but I got into more trouble with drugs and running away and just the people I was hanging out with.
Sentencing offender to 30 days in detention center will be required to follow all rules and conditions of that facility.
Well, when I got expelled, I started hanging around people I shouldn't be hanging around. And I mean, we live out in the sticks. There's nothing to do in this town. So I started drinking. I ended up running into someone else. You know, I never thought I'd wind up in jail.
This initiative has a very simple premise, and it is to keep kids in school. And as simple as that may sound, it's very complex when we look at the laws as they presently exist and what's been happening in our state.
Many times laws get made with a good intent, and I think this is a situation where we realize that the zero tolerance policies and other policies have actually had the unintended consequence of being negative in their impact on youth and on children.
Well, you know, zero tolerance, I think, has put school districts and parents and ultimately students in a position where there's really no discretion. There's no room for mistakes to be dealt with in a proportionate way.
I believe that education is the great equalizer for children. There's no other way to look at it. So education needs to be accessible to white students, black students, developmentally disabled, and the mentally ill. And what we have found is that because of the way things are presently organized in the state, that we have children who are out on the streets, and therefore they end up in the justice system.
All rise.
Please be seated. Council appearance, please.
What we are finding is that as a result of those zero tolerance laws, there are expulsions and suspensions, which go way beyond what the anticipated legislation really was all about. It was about a consequence, and so the idea is to still have a consequence, but it is also to talk about the rigidity of the zero tolerance laws and the really significant impact that it has on our children.
It's really important that we keep our kids in school, because we know in law enforcement, if we can't keep them in school, unfortunately, they're probably going to be in our system, and we don't want that. It could be from any economic level. Sexual assaults, domestic violence happening at home, those things can also affect truancy and academic achievement.
We are here for truancy in the school-to-prison pipeline and something also called chronic absenteeism. And the idea is to be able to educate children and make sure that they're in school.
The other thing that I see as being a big issue is not only addressing the kids being absent from school, but also addressing the reasons why. And for me, one of the biggest reasons is that there's something going on in the home that is not allowing this child to develop and make school #1 importance. So we have created programs in order to give families the resources and answers they need in order to create that safe, healthy family environment.
Yes. Where's Xavier? He's gone for a little while.
Education needs to be an assumption of childhood. In other words, we need to put this bubble around them so that they can enjoy education and they can enjoy what it benefits them long term as an adult. And not only them, but also our communities and our state. And that really is the topic here, is that if we don't intervene at a level that is constructive, then we will have destructive things happening to our children. Our goal is that all youth graduate from high school. It, again, sounds very simple, but complex in the making.
We're challenging our school boards in Muskegon County to really look at the policies that they have in place, they may have had in place for 20, 30, 40 years, and asking them to re-examine the policies regarding suspensions and expulsions. In Muskegon County, we already have a truancy program that has been revitalized, that has reduced truancies in the first year of existence by 40%.
We lived in a lot of different apartments. My mom, she couldn't, either find a job or couldn't keep a job, and it was really hard on us, especially.
We really need to overcome those barriers of poverty, which, I mean, my gosh, we've been talking about that for how long? But we need to overcome it by putting in a mosaic of support. In other words, we cannot be each of us in our own little bailiwick. We need to come together as a group and as a whole to be able to do that.
I had so much support, like throughout the Midland public school system, the court system. Like I call the courthouse like my second family. I was here a lot, so I was really grateful to have everybody I did. It was just me being as bullheaded and stubborn as I was.
The idea that people from all different parts of our community, from law enforcement to DHS to our courts to our schools, that they're willing to lock arms to solve this problem is going to not only benefit all of the kids in Michigan, but it's going to benefit our state when we make sure that these kids have successful futures, and we all benefit from that. I'm really impressed with this group of people.
The wonderful thing about this project and this initiative is that we have all kinds of people from all different walks of life. We have judges, we have legislators, we have educators, we have prosecuting attorneys, we have mental health, we have this wonderful dynamic of different skill sets. And what is the issue? The issue is really that we need to come together and we need to communicate for the common good of our children.
My art teacher, Mrs. Stebbins, she helped me out so much. She really saw my talents and my potential and really helped me get me back into school. And I never thought I would be here, but I am now, and I'm really thankful for everything.
Yeah, working to become a psychologist, I think, so I can help troubled kids or just a social worker of some sort. So hopefully I'll be able to help somebody that was maybe in my shoes, and I'd really, really love to do that since all the help that they've given me over the years.
Our vision is Justice School for All, but it's not a short-term vision. It's a long-term vision. This is a 3-year project, and it will go beyond the 3 years, but right now it is a 3-year project of all of our communities getting together to be able to come to the cause of children being educated.